Okay, hi ladybugs. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing okay. I burned my finger making sorry, I didn't mean to give you guys the finger, but I burned these two fingers making popcorn the other day. And the middle finger got really burned. So it just popped today, the bubble. So hopefully that means it's healing. But today I wanted to show you guys the Saskias, the Evelyns, and the Alexises. Because I thought that would be kind of cool because we haven't done the little babies in a while. So let's do those. So we're going to start with the boy Saskias, okay? This is little Lennon, and he's got little teeth. Look at him, little teeth. Hold on, let me get him close so you can see his teeth. See his little bottom teeth? I've had him was a girl named Lila. All my Saskias are L names, but I changed him to a boy because I had so many more girls than boys. So this is now Mr. Lennon. Isn't him cute? He definitely probably needs to be rematted. I've had him for like 8 years. He was one of my very first Saskias. Not my first, but one of my first. And he has been loved on for a long time. I just adore him. So, and one of my Saskias, Lucas, is not home right now. He's out and about with somebody else, but he'll be home soon. So there's actually another one that's not here at the moment. But this is my little baby Lennon. There he is. Isn't him handsome? Him's a handsome boy. Okay, so that's Lennon. And then we have Lyric. This is little Lyric. And he was the one that used to be Lakeland. He was a girl as well, but I turned him into a boy. And I like him as a boy. I love his red hair. He's so cute. This is Mr. Lyric. Isn't he cute? He's another one. Most of my Saskias have to be rematted because they are all a little bit shiny. Most of them. I think not all of them, but like 90% of them are a bit shiny because they've been loved on and dressed so much. This is about as small as I like to go, 22 inches. That's what the Saskias are. But this is little Lyric. And he's such a cutie. I love his red hair. He kind of looks like him, Mommy, although his hair is a lot lighter than mine. But I have red hair too. See? It's reddish brown. It's like a cinnamon. But he is my little redhead. So there's Mr. Lyric. We'll set him down here next to his brother. And then we have Logan. This is Mr. Logan, and he has gorgeous hair because he has rooted with blonde and brown. So he has some really beautiful highlights around his face. But this is Mr. Logan, and he's one of them that isn't too bad. He doesn't probably need to be rematted for maybe another year. But this is little, what did I just say? Logan, sorry. I had a brain fart. When they're all L's, it can be hard to remember them. So this is little Logan, and I just love him. I haven't had him as long as my others. And Lyric I haven't had as long, but Lennon I've had a long time. So this is Mr. Logan. Isn't he pretty? He's a little bit shiny, but not bad. He doesn't need to be rematted right away, but I do need to get into rematting some babies as soon as I get my painting area set up. I keep talking about it, but getting everything, all my mom's stuff taken care of down here is just really hard. So I haven't done it yet. But there's Mr. Logan. He's so handsome. Look at his blonde hair. He's got blonde rooted around his face, and then he's got brown behind it, and he's got a little bit of blonde pieces put in with the brown. He's so cute. So there's Mr. Logan. Let's set him down. And then we have one more boy Saskia, and that is Mr. Layton. And here he is. He's got the textured skin, so he doesn't get as shiny as fast, but his like knuckles are starting to get a little shiny. There's little Layton. Isn't he beautiful? Look at his painted hair. He doesn't have any rooted hair, but I do want to get rooted on top of his painted hair, but he's got beautifully painted hair. I'd like to get it lightly rooted so you can still see the painting. But when you put rooting on top of painted hair, it really has the effect of making the rooted hair look thicker, so you can really do just a little bit of rooting. like very light rooting, and the painted hair will show through because he's got such beautifully painted hair. Look at that hair. Isn't that beautiful? So there's Layton, and Layton has a twin sister, and I'll show you them together since I'm starting on the girls now. Let's see. This is Layton, and this is Leia. And they are my twin Saskias. They're not exactly, they weren't painted by the same person, but I think they're so close. And they're both painted hair babies, and their hair looks similar. Not the same, but similar. So there's my twins. Let me put Layton down. Let's put Layton in the swing. And then here's Miss Leia. We will get her shown off. There's Miss Leia. Look at that little face. She's so cute. And she doesn't need to be rematted yet. Her toes are, the end of her toes are starting to get a little bit shiny, but not bad. She is still in good shape, but she's one of my newer Saskias. And when I say newer Saskias, I haven't gotten a Saskia in like a couple of years. So even though she's one of my newer Saskias, I've had her for a while. So she's just a beautiful baby. There's my little Leia. I love holding the Saskias. They're the perfect size. There's Leia. Say hi, Leia. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, ba, 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 ba. Sweet baby girl. So there's Miss Leia. We put her with her brothers. And then we have one that really needs to be rematted, but she is so beautiful. This is my little Lauren. She is in desperate need of a remat. She's been loved on a lot, not just by me. When I got her, she was pretty shiny, so she's still shiny. She needs a remat. But this is Lauren. Isn't she beautiful? Let me get a little closer. There we go. Lauren is a pretty little girl. She's one of my heavier Saskias, and I love to hold her because of her weight. She's got such a little chunk body to her. So there's little Lauren. There we go, princess. Here, can you put your head up so the people can see you? Because they want to see how pretty you are. There she is. There's Lauren. She looks like she's looking right at the camera. And Lauren I've had a while, but like I said, she came to me shiny, which is okay because I can remat. I just haven't done it. So there's little Lauren. And then we have my Russian baby, my Russian Saskia. And I love her. I just don't love her hair because it's that really, really coarse, like wig hair. But she's so pretty. This is Lanaya. And this is what she's wearing, little Miss Lanaya. Look at their little pigtails sticking out. She's so cute. There's little Lanaya. Lanaya. And she was from a Russian artist, but I don't remember who because I didn't get her directly from the artist. She came in a trade. I used to do a lot of trades. I mean, like a lot. Like in the spring especially. Spring was like my trading time. I would do like, oh, I don't know, 40 or 50 trades in just a few months. Yeah, I mean, I would go crazy with trades. Usually between like March and like June, I would just trade like every week. But I've gotten out of that now, which I love because I love the collection I have. I don't really have very many people I want to trade. But there's Lanaya. All right, let's see. Let's put her with her siblings. And then we have little Miss Layan. This is Layan, and she also has the coarse hair, the coarse wig hair, but I love her painting. I think she's so pretty. But there's Miss Layan. And she's not shiny at all. She's a little bit yellow. I might put a little bit of like toned down her color. I think it's green that takes the yellowish orange away. But I'd like to get her a little bit less yellow because I think she kind of looks a little jaundiced to me, but she is very cute. And I love her. So there's Miss Layan. Layan, huh? Layan. And this is what Layan is wearing. This is what Miss Layan is wearing, huh? There we go. Yeah, you're so pretty. So there's Miss Layan. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I told you one is missing, so I have 10. And then this is my favorite Saskia. In fact, one of my favorite babies. This is London. And London was my second Saskia. And I just adore her. She definitely needs to be rematted. But she is so pretty. She's got such a baby look to her compared to some of the other Saskias. And she's got painted hair, but she's just rooted right on top here. And I love the little, when you curl this over, it makes this one adorable little curl, and the whole thing curls into one piece, and it's so cute. But it's not curled right now. So there's Miss London, and she's wearing a vintage dress. London, London. So she is like my absolute favorite Saskia. She'll never go anywhere. She is a heart baby. That's what I call them when they're incredibly special. And London is one of those. So there's Miss London Grace. And she's wearing a little bracelet with her name on it. This is London. So there's little London. Okay, that's it for the Saskias. And now we're going to get on to the Alexises. So this first Alexis was painted by the amazing Gwyneth Mitchell. And this is Isla. And these are all Alexis by Cassie Brace. These next 5 babies, sorry, are Alexis by Cassie Brace. And I love the Alexis because my absolute all-time favorite kit is Evelyn. And Alexis and Evelyn look like fraternal twins. So I always pretend that 2 of them are fraternal twins. But there's Miss Isla Rose, and she's a Baldy. And I don't know, maybe I'd like to get her rooted someday, but I'm just happy with the way she is now. I just don't want to give her up to send her in. I've been thinking about it for years. I've had her for about 4 or 5 years, and I just love her the way she is. So I haven't really decided if I want to root her yet. I think I'd like to someday with some very fine baby hair. But not anything thick or overdone, just some very light, infant hair. Maybe someday. It's just sending her out. I don't trust a lot of people, So sending out some of my favorite babies is hard. But there's my little Baldy, Isla. And then we have Miss Paisley. And she is also the Alexis by Cassie Brace. There's Miss Paisley. See, I'd like Isla to have hair like this. Short, fine, baby hair. Nothing like... Lauren's hair looks pretty on a Saskia, but I don't want Isla to have that kind of hair because she has kind of the baby look. But this is what Miss Paisley is wearing. And there's Paisley. And you'll see the Evelyn because I'm going to show off my Evelyns at the end after the Alexises. And then this is Miss Emerson. This is little Miss Emerson. And if she was a little redder, she'd look like Isla. But she's also a Baldy. I want to get her rooted with some fine baby hair too. Someday. But I have to find somebody I really, really trust. Because these are some of my most special babies. But there's Miss Emerson. So I will get the next one. This here is Miss Ruthie. And she has a little paint rub on her lip, and she's had it for years. So I need to fix that. But other than that, she's in really good shape. She's got beautiful curly hair. So there's Miss Ruthie. Look at the little Ruthie girl. Oh, what a sweet baby. I just love the look of this kit. It just looks like such a peaceful baby. And her little curls. So there's Miss Ruthie. And my last Alexis, this is Christopher. He's my only boy Alexis. And he was a gift from my sister, and I just adore him. He's another one that will never go anywhere, but he's beautiful, isn't he? He's got just the right amount of baby hair. It's very fine. You can see his scalp through, which I love for infants. He could use a little remat, but yeah, he's such a pretty baby. So there's Mr. Christopher. Yeah, there's Christopher, huh? There's Christopher, yeah. And now on to the Evelyns, which is my all-time favorite kit. We're going to start with my only little boy, Evelyn. I had another little boy, but I traded him, and I deeply regret it. But there's Hunter. I actually have 3 Evelyn kits that I need to paint. I have one that I need to strip and paint that I'm going to redo, and then I have 2 blank ones that I need to paint. But there's Hunter. Isn't he handsome? And this is what Hunter's wearing. Look at that face. He's painted so beautifully. And he doesn't need any rematting. He's in great shape. He's beautifully painted. He's in beautiful condition. But I do play with my babies a lot, so eventually they all need rematting, which is not a big deal. But there's Hunter. Put him in the crib. And then we have my very first Evelyn. And this is Miss Asia. And she was painted by Gladys Aguilar of Gladys Aguilar Babies. And when Gladys started out, her rooting wasn't the best. She has a lot of hairs per hole, which I don't mind because she's gotten so fabulous since then with practice. But I just fell in love with Asia. Her name is Anastasia, but we call her Asia. And she doesn't need to be rematted either, even though I've had her a long time, probably 6-7 years, between 6 and 7 years. And she's another one. None of these babies will ever go anywhere. So there's my little Asia. And then my last Evelyn. Ugh. And this is probably my favorite Evelyn. This is Evangeline. And I have had Evangeline almost 8 years. I've had her forever. I love her so much. She's such a beautiful baby. And she will always be my little Evangeline, huh? Mommy's little Evangeline. And she's wearing this adorable little dress with little striped pants underneath. Yeah, there's my Evangeline. I love this kit. It looks like the perfect sleeping chubby baby. And these are 23 inches, so they're the perfect size for me. So there's Miss Evangeline. Isn't she beautiful? She is such a pretty baby. Such a pretty baby. And since I have a little more time, I'm going to show off my Martha Grace twins. Let me grab them. And they are Ebony and Eleni. And here they are. Here's the girls. Let me put them in front of me so you can see them together. So Ebony is the one in the red socks, and Eleni is wearing the striped leggings without socks. There we go. And they are the Martha Grace kit by Adri Stowett. And they are identical, except that Eleni has the little scratch on her face. If you look next to her nose right here, right there, she has a little scratch. And I keep the same earrings on them all the time. So Eleni has little bows and Ebony has little studs. That's how I tell them apart besides the little scratch. So there's the Martha Grace twins. And they are also painted by the amazing Gwyneth Mitchell. Eleni over here and Ebony over here. My little Eleni and Ebony babies. And then I will show off my pickle twins as well. But I have to go get the little guy. So I'm going to pause it for just a second while I go get the little boy. I'll be right back. Okay, this is my little guy, my little pickle boy. This is Kieran. And I love the pickle kit because it's like 24.5 inches, almost 25 inches. And it's so chunky. And I just love the chunky. And he's rooted. Kieran has the dark hair and Kaya has a little bit lighter hair. Her hair is a little bit light brown, but this is Kieran. And I have 2 blank pickle kits that I'm either going to paint or send out to get painted. I'm not sure which yet. But there's Kieran. And let me grab Kaya. And here is little Kaya. Kieran and Kaya. There's little Kaya. You can see her hair is a little bit lighter and it parts on the opposite side. But there's, look at those chunky legs. Look at those chunker legs. They're so cute. But there's Miss Kaya. My little Kaya. So those are my 2 pickle twins, Kaya and Kieran. And then I have a few other sets of twins, but I don't think I want to get into them today. I think that showing the Saskias and the... I do want to show you, I'm going to move the camera for a second. I do want to show you one baby that I just love. She is a Michelle Faber baby. Was it Michelle Faber? Michelle Fagan. And she was, I think, originally supposed to be a kit, but only a couple were made. I'm not sure why. But isn't she adorable? I love her red hair. She actually looks like my best friend's daughter. I love her red hair. And she's got 3/4 arms and legs. And she's a little one. I don't have too many little ones, but she's a little one. She's a little one, huh? And she looks like such a happy girl. She's a Michelle Fagan baby. And they didn't, I don't know why they didn't make it into a kit, but I've only ever heard of 2 being made. So she's one of the 2. And she's so cute. The little half smile. Such a cutie. And then I also have this little one. And I put her on an Ashton Drake body of a breathing baby. So she coos and breathes and makes sucking noises. You can see her belly moving. And she also has the heartbeat. I put her on an Ashton Drake body. And she's so soothing to hold. You can feel her breath and her heartbeat. It's so amazing. She's the Sunny by Joanne Kazmiak. And her name is Gracie. And there she is. I don't know if you can hear her. So there she is, and she was a present from my best friend. Unfortunately, when I first got her, my daughter's bunny chewed the tip off one of her fingers, but it's really hard to notice unless you're actually looking for it. I'm going to turn her off now. And I just love having her on this body because it is so soothing to hold her and cuddle her, and you can feel her breathing and her, I got to find the button. You can feel her breathing and her heartbeat and everything, and it's just awesome. So there she is. There's Gracie. She's the Sunny baby. And she's about, I only have like 3 tiny ones. And then my other tiny one is the Willa by Cassie Brace. And this is Miss Elijah. And Elijah is spelled Alijah. Just like Elijah, the boy's name, except instead of an E, it's an A. So there's Miss Elijah, and I just love her. She was another gift from my sister. And Tommy J is my other tiny one. He's the Chase by Bonnie Brown. He's in the boys' nursery. I'm not going to grab him right now, but I do have him as well. So I think and then I have one Asian baby that's very small. So I only have 4 that are tiny out of 100. But I love little Elijah. She's so perfect to hold. When my sister got her, I just fell in love with her. And she gifted her to me because I fell so in love with her. There's something about her face, the way she's painted and the way she's weighted. She is weighted absolutely perfectly. She's squishy in all the right places. She's, you know, firm in all the right places. She's heavy enough. So she's an awesome baby. So I think that's all we're going to get into today. I will show off some more babies up close and not like real fast like I did on the nursery tours later on. But I just want to show you guys those. So I hope you have a great night. Love you guys. Bye.